Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the regular meeting of the Building and Fire Board of Appeals. I'm in the absence of our chairman, Mr. Eric Kashishian. I, John Tertullian, will be conducting the meeting for today.
Would you like to start with a roll call?
Yes.
Okay. Board Member Tertullian?
Present.
Board Member Lee?
Present.
Board Member Kashishian? Board Member Aharonian?
Present.
Board Member Hanessian?
Present.
Great. We'll go on to number 2 then. Report regarding the posting of this agenda. This agenda for this meeting was posted on Wednesday, August 9th, 2017 on the bulletin board outside City Hall and on the city's website. On to item number 3. We have presentations and commendations.
I'd like to introduce the 2 new board members, Ara Haronian and Zara Hanessessian, to our board. They've replaced 2 prior board members as a result of the recent council election. So we'd like to welcome you to our board. I'd also like to, before we go on, I'd like to also introduce the new board members to our some of our staff. I'm Jan Edwards, the building official. We also have Tom Marchant, our fire marshal, present as well. And I don't know if the new board members would like to say a few words to provide us all with a little bit of your background.
Thank you for the honor. This is my first time serving on this commission. I've been serving other commissions in the past years. I've been a Glendale resident for the past 38 years. I grew up here. My kids went to the Glendale College in this city, so it's my city. And of course, as I'm appointed by Mr. Agajanian to serve on this appeals board, I like to serve my city with the best I can, with prestigious members sitting with me on this commission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Zaben Hanessian. I live in Glendale since 1973, and I became a contractor, licensed contractor for building and electrical. I served parking commissioner years ago, and now I elected by city council for building and fire department. And I live in Glendale a long time ago, and business was in Glendale, but I moved to Newport as a construction director. Now I'm semi-retired, and I like to help my city and as much as I can. Thank you.
Continue with more introductions, huh? Like
If
myself?
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and then...
Commissioner Stephen Lee here, and the background is I love engineering. I love love building and everything else. So I sit on different committees for the city of LA, along with sitting on this commission.
John Tertullian. My professional background is general engineering contractor, general building contractor for nearly 15, 20 years. I've been on this commission as vice chairman and as a member, I think, for nearly 5 or 6 years, and have lived in Glendale for nearly 20 years, born in Pasadena and now in Glendale. And it's a privilege for me to serve on the board with all the members. Thank you.
Okay. And then I'd also like to expand the introductions to indicate that our director, community development director, Phil Lanzafame, is also present, as well as 2 of our support staff in the audience, deputy building official Jan Baer and fire prevention specialist Jeff Halpert. That concludes our introductions, but we have as part of this a piece of business that we need to take care of for the board.
If we can take a few minutes, I guess Steve and myself are the ones that were here from the previous meeting to review the minutes of the meeting and see if there's any corrections or adjustments, suggestions. If you have anything, Steve, to...
No.
I think it was fairly straightforward, so I can entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
And
You need a second.
I have to second it, I guess, as serving as chairman, but I'll second the minutes. It's fine.
Okay. And
So
then,
the minutes are approved. And if we can continue with the agenda.
before we continue on to item number 5, we need to take care of, as part of the introductions, the elections of
Okay.
officers.
Thank you, Janet. If you can give us some background on that, or should we just jump right into it?
It's been in the tradition in the past that the board members basically maybe take a minute or two to see willingness or volunteer, or barring that, then somebody would nominate.
Okay. Well, Eric has been our chairman, I believe, for the last 2 years, and he's done a fabulous job. I would, if you want to discuss that, I'd like to have
I'll nominate
Eric
Eric
as the chairman.
chairman.
I would like to second that motion, and if you, yeah, he's just the right person.
What's the term of the officer? 1 year or 2 years?
It's from year to year.
It's typically 1 year.
Typically 1 year.
Yes.
Let's continue with him.
Yes. So we need to vote on that?
Yes.
Should we do vice at the same time, or you want to do
Vote on this. We have an active motion. We need to complete the motion before we go on to the next one.
So we'll do a roll call. Board Member Lee,
Yes.
Board Member Tatulian,
Yes.
Board Member Hanessian,
Yes.
Board Member Aharonian.
Yes.
So now, vice chairman position?
Correct.
Okay.
I will nominate John.
I'll second.
In favor?
Okay. Those then, go ahead and roll call,
The
please.
roll call again. Board Member Lee,
Yes.
Board Member Tatulian,
Yes.
Board Member Hanessian,
Yes.
Board Member Aharonian.
Yes.
Okay, and then I did want to make a mention that we do have some very nice certificates for our outgoing board members who were unable to attend this meeting. We will make sure that we get these certificates to them, because we do greatly appreciate the role that they played, as you are now playing, in our being able to move forward with the business of the city of Glendale pertaining to building and safety and fire. Without this board, we would have a much more difficult process in approving our building codes, our local amendments to the building codes, and then addressing any potential issues that may come up throughout the year. So we do greatly appreciate the service that you provide on behalf of the city of Glendale and its citizens. Okay, so now we can move on.
Going on to item number 5, oral communications. Today we have none. On to item number 6, old business. Today we have none. And item number 7 is new business. Today we have none. Item number 8, reports, information only. The building official will speak on behalf of these reports at this time.
Okay, so I just wanted to give the board an overview of where we are with construction activity. The last 5 years, our construction activity had been skyrocketing, and at this point, it has leveled off. If you take a look at the monthly income summary report, this is for the fiscal year ending June of 2017. If you look at the bottom of the right two columns, one is the June 2017 fiscal year to date income, which was $7.1 million. That was slightly less than the previous year to date of $8.2 million. The difference in that is that the city changed in how we were assessing the technology surcharge. And if you were to look about 2/3 down the left column where you see this technology surcharge building and look at the previous year to date of $1.3 million versus the 2017 year to date of $1,000, that explains the difference between the income that building and safety took in. So as you can see, our construction income is about equal to the year before. So we're no longer increasing, but we have leveled off and are maintaining. If you were to also look at the building activity report and look at the total count about 2/3 down the column, you see our construction valuations are approximately equal to the prior fiscal year, as well as our permit counts are approximately equal for the prior fiscal year. So it looks like our activity has leveled off and has stopped its significant increase from year to year. So we're able to stabilize with our staffing a little bit and able to provide the services that the citizens of Glendale expect to receive from the Building and Safety Department. That concludes my report, unless the board members have any questions.
I have a question. From I recall from our previous meetings, you had discussed staffing levels, which you just touched upon. Do you feel comfortable with the staff that you have, and are you looking to hire? Or what's like the heartbeat of what's going on over there with backlogs and things like that?
In terms of staffing, on the plan check side, we're just in the process of hiring a permanent position, replacing an hourly position. And that brings us to where we're very good with our staff, our permanent staff in plan review. We don't do all of the plan review in-house. All of the significant projects, we do that plan review in-house. The majority of the projects that get sent out to our contract consultants tend to be more along the single-family dwelling or relatively small multifamily dwelling projects. In terms of inspection, we about 97% of the calls, the inspection requests, are handled the next day. We do have some situations where we're unable to provide meet the full request. Some of our larger projects want an inspector out there the entire day. We can't provide that level of service. So we break it down into pieces and spread it out over the week to be able to provide inspection services to the other projects. We've handled the increase in requests by hiring hourly inspectors, and we additionally have 3 extremely experienced contract inspectors that we can bring in on an as-needed basis. The contract inspectors are familiar with the city of Glendale, and one had previously been a city of Glendale employee for many, many years. As construction starts to slow down, then we will have less need for the contract inspection, and we may have less need for the hourly inspectors as well. Yes?
I have a question. In this size of the buildings, inspector goes and check, like it's going to take so much time. But is there any requirement for deputy inspector at the premises?
Oh, there's many, many requirements for deputy inspections.
Full-time?
And in some, depending on the particular construction section that they're at, there may need to be full-time. But our building inspectors, when they show up, if what they are inspecting required a deputy inspector, the first thing they ask for is the report from the deputy inspector. If they're unable to provide that report, then we basically say we can't continue until you've had your deputy inspector complete his job and provide the required documentation to us. So we do monitor that. We do make sure that the deputy inspectors are in fact doing their job. We spot check their work.
Then city pays for deputy or owners pay? I think
Owners pay for deputy.
should not pay owner, because owner pay for deputy can do anything owner wants, you know.
That's part of the building code and the requirements of the building code. So that's not something that we have any authority to address or alter.
Like in my jobs, if I'm going to call for deputy inspector, we pay as a company, as the developer. We pay for deputy, not the contractor pay deputy.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It's the owner that pays.
Yes.
Mr. Vice Chair, may I?
Yes.
Since we are new, me and Mr. Hanesian on this appeals board, is there something that we have to study till our next meeting? Is there any appeals that we have to study since we are new to get familiarized?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're welcome to, of course, go through our local amendments to the building code. Those are available online, or we can provide you with a hard copy if you prefer. But essentially, this board doesn't meet very regularly, and it's only when we have issues pertaining to the building code that we come to the board, or we have administrative functions that we need to address, such as introducing the new board members and having the election of officers.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
How often we have to get together to have meeting, more or less? 1 month, 2 months?
There's no real set pattern. If we have new board members appointed, which occurs about once a year, we would have that meeting. In a building code cycle, where we have a new code to adopt and local code amendments to review, we would meet 2 or 3 times in order to have the public hearings for the presentation and discussion of our amendments. That occurs once every 3 years. We had that last year. Other than that, it is on an appeal basis. The only other times we would meet is if someone is appealing a decision of the building official or appealing a decision of the fire marshal in the day-to-day business. We have no idea ahead of time when someone is going to file an appeal to schedule anything. So typically once a year is what we would meet. Beyond that, the code cycle year, we would have 4 meetings. And beyond that, it's as necessary if there's an appeal. Our last appeal, I think, was 3 years ago.
Then if we're going to meet together, like city is supposed to notify us about, for example, October 2nd, we're going to have a meeting. City notify us?
Yes, just like you received the notification for this meeting. The meetings, the regularly scheduled meetings would occur on the 3rd Wednesday of each month. So about the first, somewhere along in the first week of the month, we would decide, do we have an appeal or do we have other administrative business that we need to address? If not, then we cancel the meeting, and you get the notification of either the cancellation or we will be holding the meeting. Again, like you received notification for this meeting.
As we noticed, the last meeting was 10 months ago.
That was, you're right, as part of the code adoption meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, then we will move on to the next item, which is the Building Safety Month. And for that, I'd like to introduce Jan Baer, Deputy Building Official, to present that report.
Hello, Chairman, Commissioners, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your efforts coming here and being part of our Building Safety Commission and Fire Board. This year we continued. Every year, May is Building and Safety Month. And so it's a national event. Over the last 3 or 4 years, we've really tried to up our game in it by providing local training for staff and have it open to the public. Every year we've been recognized by the council by resolution. And this year we introduced our robotic inspection device, Inspector Gadget, which went over very well. We also, this year, building safety, career-wise, we're having a big demand for people to get into the field, and we hosted a career fair, having students from the local colleges come out. We had different employers come to offer suggestions on how to get into the business and what the careers in building and safety are like. Our efforts were recognized. We were on the ICC, or International Code Council's website, as well as some of their publication information for providing outstanding effort in Building and Safety Month activities. Our efforts on outreach, the trainings, things like that. In fact, we're hosting a training on the energy code coming up this Friday. We're so successful, we're looking at expanding our trainings all year, not just during the month, but continue them all year, and I look forward to inviting you to our events. The one event that I will say I want to invite you to right now is coming up on October 10th. And if you can make it, because that is when our lovely building official, Jan Edwards, is going to retire. So we've been fortunate to have her in our midst and leading our division, and we are sorely going to miss her. So if you have time between 12:30 and 3 on October 10th, we'll send you an invitation. Make sure that you can come and show your appreciation, like all of us will, for Jan. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for being here and volunteering your service to building and safety.
Thank you, John.
Going on to item number 9, adjournment.
I would like to request a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Meeting adjourned.